Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to sew this very cute 3-pieces metal frame purse. This is a very good gift for your friends, your kids. It's just everyone you would like to give, and it's very easy to sew because I prepare a newbie friendly kit for all of you, which you can see in this kit. Is include all the fabrics you need and the material you need. This is for the topping, which you can see I cut the exactly the right shape and iron the fusible batting at the wrong side. For this metal frame purse is very important. You have the right batting for it. It's good to use the fusible batting and the right thickness. This batting I use is perfect for it. It's not too thick, not too thin, because if it's too thin, then it cannot really stand there and it's not stable enough. But if it's too thick, then you cannot really sew on the frame later. You can see my purse. It's perfect. Stand here. Very perfect, and you can see if I try to press it a little, it will just come out again. So, and all this material you can find in my shop, which I will give you all the information in the information box below. And the fabric you need for the lining, of course, also the metal frame, which is suitable. And even I cut everything for you, you will still get the pattern from me, which if you want to make a new one or make another one later, and you can always add some patchwork or application or all the different things to make your purse even more, make some special things. But for my kit, I just prepare one piece of fabric. It's just to show you how to sew this and what important material you use. That's why I make this kit for you, and it's a very good begin for sewing the purses. Okay, so we start from the top. First, we need to find the central point. For this piece, at the bottom part, which I mark already, you can see there's a central point, and I use the pin the two central points together. And then I pin the side. Then the other side. So it's very important we pin these three points together first. And then we pin the rest. So you can see I finished pinning it. In this way, you can always make sure your purse is in the middle. It will not look very weird after you finish. So after you do this, then you can sew around. Remember to sew back and forward at the beginning point and the end point here. And you do the same thing to the other side. And of course, we do the same thing for the lining fabric. Now I go to sew, and then I will come back later. Okay, so now I'm back. You can see I finished sewing the top and the lining. This is the line, this is the right side, and here is the wrong side. And for the lining, I have a small hole I didn't sew at the bottom. This one we should leave a hole at the bottom and remember it. And this hole should be around 5 centimeters. Don't be so big, then you have a lot of things to sew after that, and don't be so small, then you are not able to turn around. So now what you need to do is to put this top into the lining. You can see right side against the right side. And then we use the pin to pin all these different points. At this point, I need to tell you something very important, how you pin the seam allowance at the side. I just pin 2, then you will understand. See. Okay. Now you can see from this one, this is the line. My seam allowance, I turn them outside, both of them to the outside part. So for the topping, then I turn the seam allowance inside. So that means here the seam allowance is against each other. In this way, when you turn around, you will get a perfect point at this side. It's very important for you to sew later. So you just pin all the way and sew around the top, which I prepared something here, finished already, you can see here. This is the line here, you can see. I sew around all the way around. And I have a hole at the bottom, which for turn around. So now actually we are almost going to turn around this purse. But before that, we still have something need to do. One is to cut here at the side, at this center point. And remember, don't cut through the thread. That's very important. Also at this side. And for here, we also need to cut. And I have a very good method to cut it in a very good way and very fast. Which I'm sorry, my working room is quite messy. Okay, now I get my scissors. I bought these scissors in IKEA. It's not a very good scissors, but it's enough for here because you don't use that as much as the other good scissors, so it doesn't matter because it's very cheap and it's very useful. So now we use these scissors. We cut the top. Okay, now you can see I cut the top like this. You can see I cut as close as I can to where I sew on the top. But should not cut through the thread, that's important. But just cut as much as you can. Now we are done. So we turn around. It's very exciting to see. So now we turn around. Try to put everything, put the lining into the top. And if you have an iron at home, so now is the time to try to iron it for here, because after we turn around, it's a little bit messy for the fabric. So it's good you use the iron a little bit to make it more smooth. Then it will look perfect. But now I have Now it's for the speed, so I will not do this, but I will do that later. So, and you can see because we turn the thin allowance against each other, so you can see for this side, I have a perfect point. And it's really at the right place. So then it will give a very good effect. And it's easy to show and find all the different points later. And now, before we sew the metal frame on, we have one more step need to do, which is sew a small stitch around 0.2 centimeters at the edge of the top. So all the way around. You can sew on the machine, that's very fast, or you can sew in hand. If you sew in hand, you don't need to sew it very perfect because this is going to hide under the metal frame. It's just to help you to sew the frame later. Because if you don't fix the top here, then these two pieces, they are very loose. They don't really stick together. Then when you sew the purse on, it can have a lot of wrinkles. Then it's not so beautiful. So it's also very important to sew this stitch just 0.2 centimeters at the edge of the top. So all the way around. So, and then after that, you can sew your metal frame on. And for sewing the metal frame, just to sew the metal frame, I will have another video, which is this way is fit for all the purse. And you can always use that way to sew the frame on. And thank you for your watching. And please go to the next video to see how to sew the metal frame on. Thank you very much.